Hello, and welcome to another edition of Connecting the Dots, the interview series where we have thought leaders, game changers, and innovators of the media and telco industry share their tips, insights, and learnings. My name is Andy Waltenspiel, and I'm running a Munich-based consultancy for these industries. Today, I have two guests from ScreenHits TV, and it's Rose Adkins Hulse, CEO, and Ramy Nasser, VP Corporate Development EMEA. Hello, Rose. Hi, Ramy. Great to have you.
Hi, thanks for having us.
Thank you. Good to see you.
It's fantastic that you can make it in these crazy times. Please introduce yourself and a bit about ScreenHits TV. Rose, ladies first.
Thank you. So I'm Rose Adkins Hulse. My background, I used to be at NBC Universal and Sundance before deciding to launch a company back in 2012 called ScreenHit. Over the past few years, we worked with a lot of the big studios and developed different technology, one being an aggregator that helps to combine different channels and distribution partners and studios into one. And about 18 months ago, we decided to venture into this new game of aggregation for the consumer and trying to help with some of the fragmentation issues out there with multiple different streaming services and AVOD services as people cut the cord and move more online to TV app viewing.
Okay, and you're live from London and almost a neighbor, Ramy, from Munich.
Yes, exactly. Hi, also again, thank you for having me. Ramy Nasser, my name. I'm also since almost 15 years in the industry. I used to work with ProSiebenSat.1 Media, was heading the international department on group level, but also founded the European Media Alliance. And these days, actually precisely since end of last year, I joined Rose's team, looking after EMEA partnerships and any sort of cooperation, global corporate development activities for ScreenHits TV. Exciting time to join, and yeah, we're on a good path. So looking forward to what's coming next.
Yeah, and it's exciting that you're here today, streamed from Munich, because Germany is on your list to launch next after the UK and after having started in the US, right?
That's correct. Actually, we will have finished our launch by Q2. And we're in good talks with partners and the whole ecosystem. So more about this later, I think.
Okay, so maybe this is you brought a little clip. This is a good spot to show it. So maybe let's roll the clip, and seeing is more than talking. So let's roll it and we see what is ScreenHits TV.
Another night in, stuck at home. What are you gonna watch tonight? Which app? What channel? So many choices. Can't decide? Well, you don't have to, because now you can find everything you want in one app. Meet ScreenHits TV, a brand new streaming platform that lets you bundle all of your TV apps and channels into one place. Netflix? Yep. HBO Max? You bet. Amazon Prime, Disney Plus, Stars, and live TV, of course. Simple, streamlined, make your life a little easier. Get ScreenHits TV, everything you want to watch, in one place. Coming soon.
Great stuff. So everything you want to watch in one place. That sounds very good. It sounds like super aggregation, Rose. Isn't that the term you coined many, many years ago?
Yes, it is. I think it's just really important. I think that as people are having so many different options and looking for things to watch, they're very inundated and overwhelmed. I mean, if you go to your smart TV, you have fast channels there, you have all these different app icons, you have your cable satellite company integrated in, and you just don't really know where to go. And it's just quite frustrating. And then that whole user journey changes when you go onto your tablet, or if you open up an app and then you're now looking at just one app, but maybe you can't find anything. But then the thought of having to open up 5 different other apps and do that whole search process again is daunting. Not to mention how many apps you have that you forgot that you subscribed to 6 months ago that you're still paying for. And so there does have to be a way that the consumer can put this all together and control and manage their subscriptions in one place.
You have launched in the US a while ago, UK, Germany next. What are the learnings you have taken so far, maybe from these two, And what can we expect next?
Launching a product is a very challenging, experience, because you want to get the product perfect. You have all these amazing ideas and amazing features that you want to include on day one, and you delay till you can try to get as many of those features integrated. And that's a mistake. I think that the most important thing is coming into the market with your core product. And our core product is to integrate your existing streaming apps into one place, to manage it, to be able to search across all of them. And we want to bring that to consumers as quickly as possible, and then release new features and versions as the time goes on. With the first launch, we promoted it and marketed it, and people got so excited, and they started to call us asking, okay, great, when can I get this service? How can I get this service? I just want this service. So we've decided to be much quicker on that front with our next territories.
And if I may add, what is really interesting is if you talk to our partners and prospects, they are surprised that, for instance, in the German-speaking region, we provided almost 40,000 test accounts, beta test accounts. On a global scale, over 150,000 beta accounts before launching. So it shows a good demand for something that not has launched before. So that's also a good indicator, I think.
Okay. You were talking, Ramy, about partners, customers. So who is the customers, the end customers? Who's your partners, and what are you planning with them? You had a few already on the platform. Where are you? Where are you going?
Yeah, just on a side note, I see your fancy guitar. I'm about to say some music partners. I think we should integrate a music partner. But just coming back, no, we're actually talking to the AVOD industry, to the SVODs, to the leading tier 1 players. We're actually not aggregating hundreds to hundreds of channels. We're working. So content provider actually is the main target group, but also device manufacturer and let's say other partners. It could be a telco, but could be MVNO, and that's our part of our conversations.
Okay. And I would just like to kind of add to that. I think that one really unique thing about our platform, as Ramy touched on, is you see these platforms out there that have 800 channels or 200 channels, and that becomes just quite overwhelming for the consumer. Nobody's going to scroll through 200 channels, and so we really want to provide a curated tier 1 approach. And so working with the likes of the Amazons out there, or the BBCs or the Joins, whoever the top leading companies and SVOD players are, we provide a strong and curated place for them, where they know that they're not going to be inundated with 800 channels kind of falling behind them. They're going to be in this really unique curated environment. And we're really lucky that some of these major players want to have conversations with us, want to work with us, and find ways to provide a seamless product to the consumers.
So let's park the consumer for a second. Why does Amazon, HBO, why do they want to work with you? What's in for them?
I think it's the consumers. And I know you said park them, but at the end of the day, these big players, they care about making their consumers' lives interesting. And as more and more consumers are cutting the cord and they're leaving their satellite providers, they're not going to be able to have just one app, because they're going to start getting overwhelmed. Well, do I go to HBO Max? Do I go to Netflix? Do I go to Amazon? Do I go to Disney? And each one of these partners, they want to keep 100% of the equitable viewing time on that consumer at all times. When a consumer is, I want to watch something tonight, they want to know that that consumer is going to see their content. They want to ensure that they're going to get 100% of that viewer's time to be able to push and promote content to them that they may be interested in watching. And they see the benefit of this. Second, from a bundling standpoint, nobody wants to do it. But in order to have this transition of the cord cutting happen, consumers, even though it's cheaper, if you think of it right now, if you get your 10 best streaming platforms, it's still cheaper than paying 84 to 100 pounds or euros a month for a satellite service where you probably are watching Netflix 60% of the time. But people don't realize that. They unconsciously think, oh my gosh, 10 services, how much is that going to cost me? But when they can see it packaged, okay, I can get the top 5 for this amount, even if they're only saving 10 to 15%. So bundling is not that big of a surprise for these big SVOD players. They're just now transitioning from what used to be the cables as the king. Now these apps, TV, I call it app TV, they're starting to become the kings. And they're just going to have to start to transition into, okay, now how do we create a bundle for the consumer like we had on cable?
And if I may just add, since you mentioned a few big players in this market, obviously you can also take Germany, the TV Nows, the likes of, you know, genre players. There's companies like Studio 100 or many more. So we just don't want to highlight. We just want to highlight that we're talking to the tier 1 players. We're about to launch cooperations with most of them, and so we will continue in the other continental European markets. And actually, for me personally, it was impressive to see what the team has achieved in the UK and in the US. That's why it's rather, let's say, I wouldn't call it easy, but it was a good step for me to approach the tier 1 champions, and we're in the middle of the negotiations, and I'm quite optimistic that we will have many of them on board.
Yeah, and Rose and Ramy, I think it's no coincidence that Ramy is in Munich. There must be some kind of strategy behind that. Tell us, why Munich?
Yeah, basically, you know, I don't want to, you know, connect this to the Brexit. Obviously, our headquarter, and Rose will refer on that, is London. It's the European media hub. Obviously, Amsterdam is very important, but we have also our CTO and his team. They sit in Romania, and Munich is a good hub for, let's say, continental European markets, but also Middle East and whatever else we're doing. I'm also looking into different topics, and we will establish a office here once COVID is, let's say, under control. We will also bring in people, and we will manage countries like Spain, Italy from here. And that's why Munich is a good place to be, and it's also a nice city.
I can tell, yes, it is, absolutely. A bit cold these days, but great. Cool. Talking about devices, which kind of devices are you targeting? Is it everything that the big telcos and pay TV offerings target as well? The big screen, the small screen, multi-screen, everything? Or where do you focus?
Our main focus is going to be obviously on the connected TV. I mean, consumers want to watch TV on their television. We started with desktop. And that will always be kind of like a core to our service that we provide. But our tablet app that's coming out in a few weeks is going to give consumers opportunity to search using their tablet or their mobile phones, and then to launch or cast that video they're watching to the TV, and then to still control it. There's nothing worse than having to search for something you want to watch when you don't know with a TV remote control. It's just painful. So we want to try to alleviate that. We will always have a native app. We're in the plans of developing our Samsung native app, and LG and Vizio, as well as other big brands, so the consumer can download that. But we do hope that the new experience for discovering content will be through your mobile or tablet, that you can then just press play and watch it on the TV without having to go through the whole process of downloading.
And I think in line with that, Rose, is the cooperation we announced with Scenic that enables us a watch together functionality, especially in these days when people are social distanced. At least you can enjoy content, a group of 4 people, and enjoy the latest episode of whatever. So that was also a good milestone, I think.
Yeah, talking about content, I mean, we talked about the SVOD plays. How about sports? Do I get that on your platform as well, now or soon?
Now, yeah, we've done some partnerships that we're announcing with the majors, and I think it's a very fascinating space. We used to work with IMG on our business-to-business side, and just seeing what the Premier League's doing, seeing what tennis is doing, how they're really engaging with these SVOD platforms and linear channels, it's fascinating. And so it's a huge part of our platform. We're starting off with three main SVOD players, one being Fubo TV in the United States. The other 2, I don't know if I can announce yet, but they're massive. One's based out of Germany, and then also in the UK and US, covering tennis and golf and even basketball. And I think the whole watch together is going to be key, and being able to continue that relationship that you get from watching sports with other people.
Yeah, I think for sports especially, this is a killer feature, because you like to go to the arena together, or now you can even fight, quote unquote, with your friends. So no, it's Real Madrid, no, Atletico Madrid. I had just a discussion with La Liga in an interview.
How many phones are going to be broken through the arguments? No.
Exactly. But in the end, what you want is audience engagement and increased viewing time, and that's what you can achieve with some things like that. Yeah, very cool.
Well, what's really unique is through some of these services, some of the sports, companies are integrating these video experiences and watching together, and then trying to show them on the, within the actual game. So you could see them like kind of on a big screen, but you get to see, people around the world and viewers reacting in their own homes. And that will make the sport seem more alive, because we all know that even if a vaccine comes, sports will not return to the stadiums as they used to for a while. And so this is going to be a huge part in keeping that camaraderie with everyone.
Okay, so you have big plans, as it seems. So let's fast forward 5 years from now. Where are you?
Well, I can answer that, but it's quite obvious where I want to be. Ramy, I would like to hear you answer that one.
No pressure, Ramy.
No pressure, yeah. No, actually, we have indeed global ambition. We just brought somebody on board focusing on Latin America. He's based out of Buenos Aires. And Rose brought a lot of media veterans into the business. One guy from Disney, another guy from another famous studio. So I think being present across all territories, major territories in Asia Pacific, in India, we actually have strong ambition in India. We also have a person looking specifically into this market, and actually EMEA, but also US, being present and established and a big and known brand. And by the way, we're also working on a very known in the German market, a multi-channel network. So can't announce unless it's not secure, but working on establishing also our brand via influencer and all these things. That will all enable ScreenHits TV to become a very known brand in 5 years. I hope that's in line with what Rose would expect now, but.
So, do you want to hear the founder's expectations? So, when I actually set out and developed, you're so busy on just trying to get the product up, get it out there, build the best product for the consumers that they're going to want to use and love. And every day that we get emails in from customers, it feels amazing, because it's like, wow, real life people are using this product and it's making their lives better. But when I think 5 years out, do I have ambitions to become the TV guide of a Netflix in 5 years or 10 years? Of course, I would be stupid if I didn't think that. I'm a founder. But I do hope that in the next 5 years, people will think, oh, I need something to watch tonight. Oh yeah, just go ScreenHit it. You can find it on ScreenHit. I want it to become a staple in discovery, and helping all of our partners that we've been working with for 8 years to drive that traffic, to find their right customer, to target that customer, to increase their subscriptions and make the whole process as easy and comfortable as possible. That would make me very happy.
I mean, there's something you said, Rose, that I really liked. Today, when I search for something on the web, I Google it. Tomorrow, when I look for a TV, I ScreenHit it, right? So that's what you said. Okay, let's see, we talk again, not only in 5 years. But now, okay, so how do we get there? So here's the famous question. I give you $100 million. What do you do with it to get to that point in 5 years from now? So you can both answer. Rose first.
Okay. Well, we are doing a lot of strategic marketing and partnerships. I mean, we actually are partnering with Google on a very high level, which are helping us to target our key customers that we know want to use the service by maintaining our curated approach, working with only the top 50 people in every given region to develop really strong, exclusive partnerships with them to drive their subscriptions and also viewers to the platform, by working with key device manufacturers. And then also on the tablet side, partnerships is huge for us. I don't want to give away too much of our strategy because I don't want competitors thinking, ooh, let me follow their strategy. But we're doing some really unique partnerships through my background that I've used to have that will help us to drive subscribers and then also make it a staple in that person's life, whether they're buying a new product or a phone or a car, whatever it may be. ScreenHits will be a part of it and hopefully part of their journey in discovering content.
Okay, so partnerships. I relate to that, having run partnerships for half of my professional life, so I can relate. Yeah, so Ramy, what do you do with your 100 million?
Yeah, actually, I've been always a personal ambassador, but also a big fan of internationalization. That's part of my vita. So I would split those 100 million in 3 pieces. So 33 million per region. So US get 33, EMEA and Asia Pacific, and then they should play around with that, establish and a partnership base, reinvest operations in the product, but also in marketing, and the remaining 1 million, donate for something useful, because in the end, content is entertainment. And actually, then we had spent 100 million, hopefully in a useful way, and that makes ScreenHit a global business.
Yeah, let's ScreenHit it. I love it. Great. Thank you so much for being here. We had covered a lot. So you're the not such a new kid on the block, but maybe in Germany, yes, soon to launch. Super aggregation of curated tier 1 great content, sports, fiction, everything you want to watch in one place. It was a pleasure to have you here. Rose, Ramy, really great. All the best luck. Have a fantastic launch. And well, see you soon here again. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you so much.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Take care. Stay safe. Bye.